What's
right.
going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today we're here with a good brother by the name of A. Donahue Baker. Now, this brother, he has a lot going on. I looked at his website, and he's involved with real estate. He's on his website saying that he's made a lot of people a lot of money. Now, that's something that all of you, those of you at least who are interested in that, I know some people may not be, and that's fine. But I'm a firm believer we need to find our own tribe. And that's what we definitely need to focus on. We don't need to be focusing on the 2/3. And those of you who follow this channel know what I mean by the 2/3. So, brother, thank you for joining us on the show today.
Well, pleasure to be here. Definitely a big fan of your work. I really appreciate your message. You give it to them raw, and that's what I like.
All right. So tell people a little bit about the story, like how you got involved. When you look at your website, I see, you say you've been making a lot of people a lot of money, and so that definitely piqued my interest. So tell people your story, how you even got to that level.
Yeah, well, pretty much I'm a CPA, right? And a CPA, those that don't know, is a certified public accounting. I started in public accounting, and I used real estate because of my knowledge working with high net worth individuals, other clients, to really build wealth. And that's really what I'm trying to show people how to do it, right? Show people that real estate is really, really important. And it's just something that anyone can purchase. It's really all about how do you take advantage of what's available to you in your community. That's really the key.
All right. So you say you start off as a CPA. Now, people like you are definitely very important, for people in the business world, whether you're a big corporation or someone even at my level, right? So how did you get involved with that to the point that you start working with major corporations?
Well, as a CPA, I had clients. And one of the things I realized is that whatever job you have, right? So let's say you have a job and you're making $100,000. A lot of people be like, yo, I'm happy making $100,000. But what I realized is that any job that you have, you're worth 4 times as much to your employer. So you tell me anyone with a job, and more than likely, their employer is making 4 times that much off of their skill, off of their labor, off of their knowledge, right? So what I realized is that I am much more valuable than a job. And that's really what allowed me to change my mind state and start to think a little differently of how can I maximize my potential and maximize my value. And what I felt the best way to do that was open my own practice. And I left the firm and then went open my own practice and did just that.
Okay. So usually in business, let's talk about that. Usually CPAs get a reputation based off of definitely one thing or two things: how much taxes that you can save them, and making sure they don't get in trouble with the IRS, or you can get them out of the issues of the IRS. That's usually what make you pretty sought out.
Facts.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell us about that. Like how did you get to that point? Because especially with all these stimulus checks going out, I was having a conversation with my cousin the other day, and I said, boy, they really trying to come after businesses, not small businesses, to pay this stimulus checks back. I'm noticing. But how did you even get to that point, though?
Well, one of the things I work, do you know what a family office is?
Do I know what a family office is?
Yeah, family office. Do you know what that term means?
I don't want to assume what it means, so I'm gonna let you
Right.
say it.
All right. Well, a family office is literally a place where high net worth individuals go. And that's what I worked for. One of my clients, I worked at a family office. So we dealt with people that had net worths of maybe $100 million, right? So what I realized is during that process, taxes were key. The more money you make, the more taxes, they would take because you would be in a higher tax bracket.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that I realized is at a family office, they have, and let me explain what the concept is. It's probably about 20 people that work at a family office, but each individual person specializes in one aspect of the wealth that they're looking to manage. So at a family office, they may have someone that just specializes in commodities and they focus on that. They might specialize in insurance. So they look for the best insurance products. If they're an athlete or somebody famous that we all know, they may go get a policy at Lloyd's of London, insuring their arms, their legs, their knees. I mean, everything you can possibly think of under an insurance policy. If they also have someone that focuses on taxes and tax strategy. What is the best strategy? What is the most effective way to pay the least amount of taxes? Not tax avoidance or not paying tax, but what is the best legal way so they can pay no taxes? The analogy that I give is Amazon. They made $1 billion, right? Amazon made $1 billion, pay no taxes. There's a strategy behind that. You look at Donald Trump, right? Donald Trump has done some things in his prior career where he took a loss of $1 billion on paper, right? Took a loss of $1 billion, never has to pay taxes probably for the next 20 years because you can go back to and forward 20, right? Different rules, different things. So what I try to do is take all of this knowledge and pour it into everyday people and how they can use the same knowledge to not only build wealth, but keep the wealth that they've created. And that's really what I wanted to bring through my own practice, how I was able to show people how they can build wealth. Well, we call it turning thousandaires into millionaires. That's really the strategy.
Yeah, well, definitely for a lot of us content creators, you sound like the man we need to talk to then. Because like I said, boy, I can tell you about that conversation. But to learn all that, especially as a Black man, let's get to that. Them folks don't like you to know all them strategies. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So what positions you have been put in to learn that? Like, it's just like a gift for you, or you just been in the right places where you could have ear hustled and then moved on certain information?
I get where you're at on that. So the family office provided that opportunity where I was able to work and be in circles of really power brokers, people that are creating wealth. Prime example would be, somebody we can all relate to, Kanye West, right? So a lot of people didn't know before he's a billionaire now, but about 4 or 5 years before he became a billionaire, he was in some tax trouble and he was really thinking about filing for bankruptcy. What people did not know is that Kanye got with a CPA, right? It wasn't me, but it was someone that I knew. And basically, through structure, legal structure, allowed him to restructure his businesses. And the federal government, mind you, this is somebody who was going to file for bankruptcy. Federal government gave him $38 million. He got a $38 million refund when he went and refiled his taxes. So the point of the story is, it's really about how can you take advantage of the tax laws, take advantage of the laws that exist within our country to build wealth, right? The more you know, the more you can save. And if you can save, you can put more money to work, improve your financial literacy, and build wealth. So that's what I try to tell my community when I talk. This is how important it is. Like, what I'm telling you is information that can change your life. And it's really important that you soak it all in.
Okay. So, when people hear things like that about Kanye, what you say, getting that much back, or you seeing Donald Trump not paying nothing or Amazon not paying nothing, then why is it that the average citizen, or at least small business owner, let me say small business, why small business owners don't have that kind of access? Is it because the CPAs cost too much and that's what keeps us kind of locked out of that? Or what is it?
Yeah, absolutely. So really, it's really all about getting connected and plugged in with somebody that has a CPA that has try to use a CPA as opposed to a tax preparer. So the difference between both of those guys is that a CPA will really focus on tax strategy, right? And the tax strategy that you should be following is understanding what classification you are in the eyes of the IRS, right? Because that's the first hole everyone should be looking to plug is how much money is going to the IRS. So I tell people it's really one or two categories. The first category in this country is you need to be a business owner, right? If you own a business as an entrepreneur, you can write off a lot more than you spend if you know how to structure it right. The second category is real estate and being a real estate professional or a landowner. There's actually a category that the IRS designate that's called real estate professional. If you're designated as a real estate professional, you can do something super special that most people can't, and you can write off 100% of your expenses. So that's why I tell people, if you're looking to build generational wealth, you really need to get involved in real estate or have some type of business and be an entrepreneur. That's super, super important so you can take advantage of those opportunities. And then you have to find those professionals that know what they're doing, right? So you and yourself, somebody that's a content creator, what you want to do is find somebody that, what do? Represent other content creators or other people in that business so they know and understand what are the deductions to take, what are the industry standards. That's really key. Your typical tax preparer won't know that. So because they won't know that, they won't know the is called segregation, cost segregation, where we can look at a building that we own and pretty much depreciate everything down to the screws. Why is that so important? Because depreciation is a real expense to the IRS. But you and I know that we don't actually pay anything called depreciation. That's not money coming out of our pockets. So when the wealthy, when they do their tax return and they own real estate, their depreciation expense is really high. And when they go to get a loan at a bank, the banks add depreciation back in because they know it's not a real expense. And we're able to qualify for a lot more real estate and get a lot more money than the typical person seeking a loan from a bank. So it's really what you know.
Okay, well, people that watch this channel, and like I said, there's a lot of people in the community watch. So they right now is getting close to tax time. Mm-hmm. And somebody say, you know what, man, I like what this brother talking about. I want to get in on that. So where would you point people to? I mean, is you got an organization that does that? I know I saw your website and everything.
So the focus that I want to tell people to, if you're interested in building generational wealth, taxes are part of the equation. But really, there's other pieces. There's banking. There's access to capital. There's also using your business, being an entrepreneur and using that to get money. So what I tell people is, we have a bank that is starting out right now. We're launching next month. You can go to bankmoneyav.com. That's www.bankmoneyav.com. You can sign up there and we will show you the pathway, right? And I'll bring you on 6 levels what we do at the bank, right? The very first level is we give you information to turn you into a thousandaire. We call anyone that is capable of making 100,000 or more a thousandaire, right? So we give you courses, we give you networking opportunities, programs to help you get an additional stream of income to supplement your job. Or some of you that are in port cities that are looking for jobs, we have other corporations that we're linked with that are looking to hire, right? And those people that are looking to hire, 6-figure salaries in some cases. That's level 1. Level 2 is living the rent-free lifestyle. Living the rent-free lifestyle is very simple. We want your first purchase, instead of the dream home, to be a multi-family home. Statistics have shown if you're able to do that, you exponentially increase your chances.
Can't hear you. Okay.
It went out. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
All right. So at level 3, what happens is we ask you to bring your personal credit score to 720, lock it. What that means is don't use it because we want you to live exclusively through your LLC. The reason why that is because of what we spoke about earlier, the tax benefits. But even more importantly, we want you to tap into business credit. So we have through the bank, we give $50,000 to you for every LLC that you have, and that $50,000 comes to you not connected to your personal credit, but through the credit you build up under your LLC. So you can be like the masters of business credit, like Donald Trump, who has over 500 LLCs. He's able to leverage each LLC to go out and get millions and millions of dollars if you do it the right way, right? But what we want you to do is start on the level where you're at, take the 50,000 and just prove the concept of your business. If you're able to do that, you go to level 4. Level 4 is simply go out and basically buy income producing assets that pay you to own them. So we want you to go out and purchase $1 million of assets, and we have a line of credit up to $1 million to help you do that. After you prove the concept of your business, after you have 2 years tax returns, we're able to get you this funding so you can create this massive pipeline. And then level 5 is just that, right? We want you to basically, the debt that you created in level 4 turns into equity, right? Which turns into net worth. And that's how we turn thousandaires to millionaires. It's not an overnight process. This is something that I've done, but that's how we do it. But that's really the path. And then the final level, level 6, the wealth that you've created in levels 1 through 5, then it's passed on to your children, either through a trust or through 1031 exchanges, or even through life insurance. You can't have the generational wealth talk without talking about life insurance, which we don't do enough of in our community. You can get $1 million life insurance through us for as little as $100 a month if you're between the ages of 21 and 35, which is incredible, which is an incredible rate, right? So the point I'm trying to make is we need to have these conversations more and more, but understand that that's how we create generational wealth. It's really taking the sacrifices today so that we can pass it on and give the future generation a head start.
Yeah, brother. And that program that you're saying right now definitely got, me interested. And I'll talk to you on the back end about some of that. But how could people, get, access to any of that? Like, tell people how to do that, just in case they, man, I'm interested. I want to, holler at the brother.
You can find me on all social media platforms, A. Donahue Baker. A. Donahue Baker. I'm on Twitter, Instagram. I mean, all of them. I'm actually even on YouTube. I got some YouTube content to help people improve their financial literacy. You can find me there. But once again, signing up for the bank is how you get tapped in, right? You get notified. You get financial education, financial literacy, things that improve your decision making. And that bank is www.bankmoneyav.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, we'll make sure to put that in the pinned comment. And those of you definitely in business, please take advantage of this information. Don't let that pass by you, because a lot of times, when you have good people like this, you're like, man, what was that person? Take advantage. I'm a firm believer of move when the water's troubled. So, brother, thank you for coming on the show today. We greatly appreciate your time, and we definitely be, talking to you.
Absolutely. I really appreciate you, and looking forward to hearing from you again in the future, brother.